You saw the title, and no, this isn't clickbait. There are 10 specific traps built into the airline system right now. Traps that are practically designed to drain your wallet, separate you from your travel companion, and leave you sleeping on a terminal floor this winter. And here's the scary part. These aren't accidents. These are policy loopholes. We're talking about weather reclassifications that get airlines out of paying for your hotel. We're talking about new seating algorithms that deliberately split up seniors to force an upsell. I'm going to walk you through all 10, and I'm warning you now, number 1 on this list is the difference between a warm hotel bed and a yoga mat on hard tile. By the end of this video, you aren't just going to know the traps, you're going to know the loopholes to beat them. Let's get into it. Let's start with the single biggest financial risk to your winter trip. The delay reclassification. Picture this. You're at the gate. The pilot comes on the PA and says, "Folks, we've got a mechanical issue. A sensor is acting up. We need maintenance to sign it off. Sit tight." You wait an hour. Maybe 2. You're annoyed, but you're thinking, well, if we get stuck overnight, at least they have to pay for a hotel, right? Wrong. Here is the secret airlines don't advertise. Delays fall into 2 buckets. Bucket 1 is controllable. That's things like broken sensors, missing crew members, or computer glitches. If the delay is controllable, most major airlines have committed to giving you meal vouchers and a hotel room. But then there is Bucket 2, uncontrollable. This is weather, air traffic control, or security issues. Airlines owe you absolutely nothing for these delays. No hotel, no food, just a sorry and a blanket. Here is the trap. In the winter, these 2 buckets bleed into each other. You might sit there for 2 hours for a mechanical issue, a controllable delay. But while you're waiting, a snow band moves in. Suddenly, the delay drags on, and operations flips the official cause code from maintenance to weather. That one keystroke saves the airline thousands of dollars in hotel vouchers for your flight alone, and it leaves you paying out of pocket. We saw this happen constantly last winter. An Air Canada flight might have a timeline that looks like this: 90 minutes for a broken door latch, followed by 2 hours for de-icing. Because the final straw was the weather, the entire delay gets washed clean. The system marks it uncontrollable. For a senior on a fixed income, a surprise $300 airport hotel bill is a disaster. And sleeping on the floor? If you have back issues, need to plug in a CPAP machine, or take timed medication, sleeping in a terminal isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. So how do you fight a computer system? You need evidence. The second a delay is announced as maintenance or crew, take a screenshot of the airline's app. Take a photo of the departure board. Write down the exact time. If they try to flip the script later, you walk up to that agent and say, "I have a record here that this delay began as a controllable mechanical issue at 4 p.m. I need my record annotated with that original cause." That annotation is your golden ticket. Even if the computer says no, a customer service agent on the phone later can see that note and issue you a refund or a travel credit. But you have to get it in writing, in the moment. Next up, let's talk about where you sit. Or rather, why you probably won't be sitting next to your spouse. You might have heard about the Department of Transportation pushing for family seating rules. You might think, great, the government ensures families sit together for free. Read the fine print. Those protections are specifically for children 13 and under. If you are a senior couple traveling together, or a senior traveling with an adult daughter or caregiver, you are invisible to these new rules. The airlines know this. They have designed their algorithms to capitalize on your anxiety. They know that for many seniors, sitting together isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Maybe you need help hearing announcements. Maybe you manage the carry-on with the medications. Maybe you just need the peace of mind of having your partner there. The airlines call this preference. I call it drip pricing. Go to book a flight on American or Delta right now. You'll see the basic economy fare, and then you'll see the main cabin fare. If you pick the cheapest option, you are essentially rolling the dice. The computer will assign your seats at random. And I promise you, on a full winter flight, the odds of two random empty seats being right next to each other are almost zero. You'll end up with one person in 14B and the other in 32E. And relying on the kindness of strangers to swap seats? Don't do it. People pay extra for their aisle and window seats now. They aren't going to trade their premium seat for your middle seat in the back just to be nice. You have to treat the seat selection fee as part of the ticket price. Do not look at the base fare. Look at the fare plus seat price. If that's too expensive, look at Southwest. They have open seating. As long as you check in exactly 24 hours in advance, you and your companion can almost certainly find two seats together without paying a penny extra. Alaska and Hawaiian Airlines also tend to be much friendlier with their policies. But whatever you do, do not book basic economy, assuming you can talk your way into sitting together at the gate. In 2026, that simply does not work. Trap number 3 is hitting wallets hard this year. It's the personal item pincer. You know the drill. You're allowed one carry-on and one personal item. But have you noticed how aggressive they've gotten about checking the size of that personal item? Here is why. Winter flights are heavy. People bring big coats, puffy jackets, and holiday gifts. The overhead bins fill up by Group 3. So, the gate agents are under strict orders to police bag sizes before you get on the plane. This hits seniors the hardest, because many of you are smart travelers. You try to pack everything into a carry-on to avoid checked bag fees. Maybe you have a tote bag or a specialized bag for your medical supplies. But here is the trap. If that bag is even half an inch too wide, or if the wheels stick out, or if you packed it so full it bulges, they will make you put it in the sizer. If it doesn't slide in easily, boom, that's a gate check fee. And because you're at the gate, it's not the $35 you pay online. It can be $65 or more. And it gets worse. If they force you to check your bag at the gate, do you have your essential medication in your pocket? Do you have your lithium batteries for your hearing aids? You cannot have lithium batteries in the cargo hold. It's a fire hazard. Suddenly, you're frantically unpacking your underwear on the jet bridge floor, trying to find your pill organizer while 50 people glare at you. It is humiliating, and it is entirely avoidable. The fix. 2 things. First, buy a bag that is rigid. Soft bags expand when you stuff them, and that's what gets you caught. A rigid bag stays the legal size no matter what. Second, and this is crucial, never ever keep your absolute essentials in your main carry-on. Get a small pouch, fanny pack size, that has your meds, your phone, and your batteries. If they take your bag, you just pull out that pouch and let them take the suitcase. You don't hold up the line, and you stay safe. Let's move to the security checkpoint. I see so many seniors making their own lives harder here because they don't know the rules have changed in their favor. This is the security fear trap. You've seen the viral videos of nightmare TSA lines. You're worried about holding people up. So you start stripping off your belt, your light jacket, your shoes. Stop. If you are 75 or older, the TSA has a specific rule for you. It's not a secret hack, it's official policy. You do not have to remove your shoes. You do not have to remove a light jacket. But because you're nervous, you do it anyway. You struggle with your laces. You feel off balance without your shoes on that slick floor. It creates stress that you don't need. And then there's the TSA Cares program. This is a free, yes, free service that almost no one uses. If you have a pacemaker, a hip implant, difficulty standing for long periods, or just anxiety about the process, you can call TSA Cares 72 hours before your flight. When you get to the airport, a passenger support specialist can actually meet you. They can guide you to the front. They can help you through the screening process so you aren't getting yelled at to move faster. Here is your homework. If you are over 75, keep your shoes on. If the officer tells you to take them off, politely say, "I am over 75. They will wave you through. And please, put the TSA Cares number in your phone. Don't be a hero. Use the help that your tax dollars are already paying for. We have been hearing about this one for literally 20 years. Real ID is coming! Real ID is coming! And every year, they delay it. So, you've tuned it out. You think, they'll just delay it again. Listen to me closely. The grace period is over. As of May 7th, 2025, the federal deadline hits. If you try to fly in the winter of 2025 or early 2026 with a standard driver's license that doesn't have the star on it, you are not getting on the plane. This isn't an airline rule. The airline agent can't override it. The TSA manager can't override it. It is federal law. Imagine getting all the way to the front of the security line, boarding pass in hand, ready to visit your grandkids, and being turned away because your license is from 2019 and doesn't have the star. I know many seniors who don't drive much anymore, so they haven't bothered to renew their license, or they have a senior ID card from the state that isn't Real ID compliant. Go pull your license out of your wallet right now. Look at the top right corner. Do you see a star? It might be gold, it might be black, but it needs to be a star. No star? You have two choices. One, go to the DMV now. Appointments are backed up for months, so do not wait. Two, use your passport or passport card. A valid US passport works for domestic travel. If you have that, you don't need the Real ID license. But check the expiration date on that passport today. Trap number 6 is the bait and switch, also known as basic economy. Airlines use this to lure you in on Google flights. You see a price that looks like the good old days. $129 round trip. Amazing! But basic economy is not a deal. It is a trap. It is a handcuff. Basic economy is designed to strip away every single layer of protection you have. No changes allowed. No refunds allowed. Boarding in the very last group, which means no overhead bin space for your bag. No seat selection. Now imagine a winter storm hits. Your flight is canceled. You need to rebook. The person who bought the main cabin ticket, they can switch to a flight the next day for free. You, with your basic economy ticket, you might be stuck. The airline might say, sorry, your ticket has no value for changes. You lose the money. You have to buy a brand new ticket at the walk-up price, which is probably $600. The fix. Friends don't let friends buy basic economy, especially not seniors traveling in winter. The risk of weather disruption is too high. When you are booking, you will see the upsell to main cabin or standard economy. It usually costs $30 to $50 more. Pay it. Think of that $50 as insurance. It buys you a seat assignment, it buys you a carry-on slot, and most importantly, it buys you the right to change your flight if you get sick or if a blizzard hits. Speaking of booking, let's talk about where you buy that ticket. Trap number 7 is the third-party void. I know you love a deal. I know your nephew told you to check Skyscanner or Kiwi or Expedia to find the cheapest flight. And sure, it might save you $12. But when things go wrong, that $12 savings will cost you hours of your life. Here is the scenario. You are at the airport. Your flight is canceled. There is one seat left on the next flight out. You run to the gate agent and say, "Put me on that flight." The agent types in your name. Then they frown. They look at you and say, "I'm sorry, you bought this through a third-party agency. I can't touch this ticket. You have to call them." Your heart sinks. While you are standing there dialing an 800 number, waiting on hold for a call center halfway around the world, the person standing next to you, who booked directly with the airline, gets that last seat. This is called loss of control. When you book with an online travel agency, OTA, the airline technically doesn't own your reservation until the last minute. Their hands are tied by contracts. And those protection plans the travel sites try to sell you, they are often full of holes. They might cover you if you get sick, but not if the airline melts down. Use Google Flights to find the schedule. Use the travel sites to compare prices. But when it is time to put in your credit card number, go directly to United.com, Delta.com, or AA.com. Booking direct means the airline is 100% responsible for you. It means you can use their app to rebook yourself in seconds. It keeps you in the driver's seat. Trap number 8 is heartbreaking because it happens to the most vulnerable travelers. It's the wheelchair service gap. You request wheelchair assistance when you book the ticket. You think you're covered from curb to plane, but the system isn't one continuous line. It's 3 separate systems that barely talk to each other. System 1, the people outside at the curb. They work for the airport authority or a subcontractor. They take you to the check-in counter. System 2, the people who take you through security. System 3, the airline staff who take you to the gate. The danger zone is the handoff. We see it all the time. A pusher drops you off at the security checkpoint line and leaves. They assume someone else is coming to pick you up on the other side. But nobody called the other side. So you are sitting there, past security, without a wheelchair, watching the clock tick down while your gate is half a mile away. You cannot be passive here. First, call the airline 24 hours before your flight to confirm the request. Second, when the first person drops you off, do not let them leave until you see the next person. Ask them, "Who is picking me up next? Can you wait until they get here?" Third, tip. I know, you shouldn't have to, but a $5 bill to the attendant ensures they stick around long enough to make sure you're safe. And remember TSA Cares from earlier? This is where they shine. If you have TSA Cares set up, they bridge that gap at security for you. If you travel with a mobility device, a scooter, a power chair, or even a specialized walker, trap number 9 is critical. Airlines treat luggage pretty roughly, but if they dent your suitcase, it's annoying. If they crush your electric wheelchair, your vacation is over. You are stranded. Here is the data they don't want you to check. The Department of Transportation publishes a report every single month called the Air Travel Consumer Report. In that report, there is a specific chart for mishandled wheelchairs and scooters. You will be shocked by the difference between airlines. One airline might break 1 out of every 50 chairs. Another might break 1 out of every 20. Would you get on a plane if you knew there was a 5% chance they would destroy your legs? Of course not. But that's the gamble you take if you don't check the numbers. Before you book, Google DOT Air Travel Consumer Report. Scroll down to the wheelchair section. Look at the numbers for the airlines flying your route. If Spirit or United or American has a terrible rating that month, and Southwest or Delta is doing better, book the safer airline, even if it costs $50 more. Also, take photos. Photograph your device at the check-in counter, top, bottom, sides. If they break it, they will try to claim it was pre-existing damage. Your photos on your phone with the timestamp are your proof. I talk to so many people who spend hours hunting for senior discounts. They click on ads that say, "Flights for seniors." Here is the cold truth. Senior fares basically don't exist anymore. Southwest? No senior fares. American? Only in very specific markets that you'll never find. United? Almost never. The airline industry moved away from age-based discounts years ago. Now, they use dynamic pricing algorithms. If you are clicking on third-party sites that promise exclusive senior deals, you are likely being funneled into a high-fee booking engine or a data harvesting scam. There is one exception: British Airways. If you are an AARP member, British Airways offers a legitimate discount, usually $65 to $200 off round-trip flights. That is real. But for domestic US flights, the senior discount is a ghost. Stop looking for the label senior. Look for the label shoulder season. The best discount you will ever get is simply being retired and having a flexible schedule. Fly on a Tuesday. Fly in late January. Fly in October. Avoid the holidays. Avoid Friday nights. Your power isn't your age, it's your calendar. You can fly when the business travelers and the school kids can't. That is where your 30% savings is hiding. Winter travel doesn't have to be a nightmare, but you have to realize that the system has changed. It is automated, it is ruthless, and it is designed to profit from your mistakes. But now you have the playbook. You know to watch for the weather label switch. You know to avoid basic economy like the plague. You know to check the DOT numbers and use TSA cares. Don't let them catch you off guard. Use their own data to beat them. Stay warm, safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.